What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios. I'm sure many of you have lain awake at night wondering why. Why doesn't Coconut build Imperial Mocs? I only ever do the occasional Imperial era themed mock challenge, but I've never done a standalone series or mock showcase. Well, there was one, but we don't really talk about it. So today I am going to sit down and answer this burning question and explain why Imperial Mocs suck. I mean, why I don't do Imperial era Mocs. And it's not because I just haven't gotten around to it yet. There are two main reasons. The first being emotional and the second one statistical. But we'll get to all that in good time. For now, don't forget to execute Order 66 on that like button, and let's set the stage with a little history lesson. As you guys know, I am obsessed with most things Star Wars. And I have been since I was young. I grew up watching the original trilogy. I was fortunate enough to remember the prequel movies coming out, as well as the Clone Wars TV show. I played the Lego Star Wars video game. I loved it all. In fact, my prime Lego building years were during what many consider the golden age of Lego Star Wars sets, 2007-ish to around 2012. So while I love the original trilogy with its stormtroopers, star destroyers, and overall aesthetic, I am a prequel fanboy at heart, especially for the Clone Wars. I remember watching what parts of the animated TV show I could and wanting to so bad to be able to recreate those awesome battles and scenes in Lego. I remember the excitement and joy when I would walk into a Walmart with enough money to buy a 2008 Clone Trooper Battle Pack so I could build my army, make stop motions with my friends, and to this day, some of my fondest childhood memories revolve around the Lego Star Wars Clone Wars sets, minifigs, and Mocs that I played with. And now, here I am a million years later, and I can finally recreate all those scenes and battles that I wanted to, but 10 times bigger and 10 times better. So I have a major emotional attachment and fondness for the Clone Wars. And so as a result, I mostly do videos focused and centered around those things. When making YouTube videos, it's very important to pick topics and ideas that get you excited, that you're passionate about. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard to force yourself to sit down and actually record, edit, film, put together the video from start to finish, and your lack of excitement and desire to make the video can come across to your viewers even if you don't explicitly say it. And I upload about 1 to 2 videos a week, which is a lot for me considering they are mostly mock-based videos that need to be built, challenges that need to be put together. So it's very important that I pick ideas and topics that get me excited so I can get them done as quickly as possible and still have that excitement and joy come across to the viewers, which will help them enjoy the video more and want to come back to the channel in the future. And so right now, I just don't have that needed joy or passion for Imperial Mocs, especially since I'm trying to grow the channel as quickly as I can right now. So I can't afford to, take an extra long time making a video that I'm just not that excited about. Maybe if I was doing this as more of like a casual hobby and just wasn't as focused on like growing, I would be more willing to do something that I was a little less excited about, but that's just not the case right now. So that's kind of the first reason, just the emotional attachment and joy and excitement that I get from the Clone Wars and how big of a factor that is in putting out good videos. But videos and growth and analytics are a great segue into the second reason, which is statistics, baby. I have put out Imperial mock videos before. They've mostly been challenges, not really like a standalone showcase, like I said earlier, but they statistically don't perform as well as my Clone Wars content does. And I'm not 100% sure why this is, because I know all of us are Star Wars fans at heart, right? We're not out there like, ooh, I only watch Clone Wars mocks, I only watch original trilogy mocks. That's not how I am. I enjoy both. So I'm not, entirely sure why that is on my channel. I do have some theories. The first being I focused on Clone Wars content for so long. I've kind of branded myself and marked myself as a Clone Wars channel. So maybe, people just aren't as interested in seeing me branch out of that and they come here for Clone Wars content. Another reason could be there's a large audience on YouTube right now that kind of grew up, a little bit after me, a little bit before me, and so we all have that same nostalgia for the Clone Wars because there was a really long stretch where there were prequels, then Clone Wars TV shows, so you have this long period of time that affected so many different people. Now we're all starting to get a little bit older, watching YouTube videos, and we all have that same nostalgia for the Clone Wars. So, there's just a larger demographic that's interested in those kinds of videos. Whereas original trilogy stuff is making a comeback now with like The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Cassian Andor, but there was a long stretch where there wasn't really a whole lot of Imperial focused content. And so this is stuff that I really keep an eye on. What kinds of videos perform well, analyzing the videos that don't perform well, and looking what about those videos don't people like, aren't people interested in. And so I've seen just how popular and how trendy Clone Wars content is, and I happen to enjoy it. And you know, this isn't a death sentence for original trilogy Mocs on my channel. I would like to get to the point where I have grown and built a large enough core audience that I don't need to focus so much on having videos explode and go viral. You know, I can just build what I want to build, and I'll have a large enough audience who tune in every week just to see what I'm building because they enjoy the stuff I make, not necessarily because it's a certain kind of content. Then I will, you know, be able to pull in enough views on those videos to make it viable. I'm sure there are those of you out right now think, just do what you love. Don't focus so much on statistics, analytics. You should just be focusing on what you're passionate about. That is true to an extent, but this is also my job. This is what I want to make my career. And so these are important decisions and things for me to take into account. I do think the Imperial era has a lot of potential. I have seen other channels do awesome things in that era. I myself even had an Imperial Moc planned for this year. I was going to do a giant battle of Endor Moc with a bunker. It wouldn't be the one where Han Solo and Leia were fighting at. It was going to be a different one, kind of over where the other larger satellites were. I had my UCS AT-AT, I had TIE fighters bought, I was getting ready. But like I talked about earlier, I kind of lost or didn't really have that deep excitement and passion for the project after a while, and I hadn't even started it yet and it was already starting to wane. And so I knew I would need that excitement and passion to carry me through a long, arduous Moc series, because they're tough. Like even Coruscant, Utapau, Cato Nemoidia, maybe not so much Coruscant, but the other Mocs, there have been points where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of tired of this. So if you're to add on top of that, I'm building a Moc that I'm not really excited about, it would be so much harder for me to finish the series. So basically I'm saying I'm waiting until I grow the channel to a certain point where I can pursue less trendy or viral projects, and when I just feel that excitement and passion for a particular Imperial build. And there is one, even now, in this moment, that I'm really excited to do and that I really want to do, and that I'm sure I would have enough excitement to be able to finish, and that is the Battle of Mimban. I think it's so cool. I love the gritty, dark nature of it. I love the vehicles, the terrain, so that's definitely one that's gonna happen. It's only a matter of time. It's often hard for me to give a satisfactory answer as to why I don't do Imperial Mocs, so it was fun to be able to sit down and make this video and really analyze why I do what I do when it comes to Mocs. It'll also be nice to be able to point people in the direction of this video in the future when they ask. I do think there are a lot of great Moc builders and great Mocs in the Imperial era, and I'm excited for when I get to explore this era in greater detail. That pretty much wraps up this video, but don't forget to let me know what you thought about my reasons for not doing Imperial Mocs in the comments. Do you relate, or maybe you have the same thoughts as I do, but in regards to the prequels and the Clone Wars? I always enjoy the great comments and thoughts you guys leave, so I appreciate you guys taking the time to do that. That's pretty much everything I wanted to say, so I'll catch you in the next one, but until then, happy building.